Good job there. What do you have in your hot sauce? Keep you company, or?
Taking a picture. Yeah, it's keeping me company.
You know, emotional support hot sauce.
My emotional support hot sauce. Dresser. We'll bring out, put on the couch.
No, okay. You want me to get my wagon back out?
Sure. Put it on the wagon.
Put stuff on the wagon. Make it easier to move around. Yeah, so we're gonna clear all this out, and the dresser is going to move over there, which we should have done that ages ago. You'd think with 4 higher ed degrees, we would have thought of that, but no, we've had dresser, even before this dresser, when he had a different dresser, it's always been over here, and then we'd be like, oh, we can't open the closet door all the way. And a few days ago, I was like, duh, why don't we move the dresser over there, even with the stuff we're adding. So the dresser's going to move over there, and then we're going to put those. These are the Calyx 4 cubby. So one is going to go horizontal here underneath the window. Then we can prop up this monitor screen TV thing on top of it until he moves it elsewhere. And then when we'll go vertically and all the books and stuff, we'll move to that, including this, probably a lot of this stuff here. And then we'll have room in the cubbies down there for things like his CPAP stuff. Maybe the trash can and the like. So, but the Calyx should only come up, you know, it might still be about the same width, but it's not going to be as far out, so we'll still be able to open the door a little. So we're going to have to move that probably, but that's okay. We've got room. And it's done-ish. Oh, it's not perfect, but it's much better. Like all those books and stuff were on top of the dresser, so we can really access them. Now they're in order. We got Disney stuff, Metallica. We moved the boombox that has the record player in here, so some other books, photo albums. Those boxes are full of like loose photos. That thing. It's got records in it as well. So, like I said, it's not perfect. Ideally, everything, the dresser would be up against the wall, but then there would be no way for him to have a little side table thing because the drawers wouldn't be able to pull out. Even if we did something really small or more compact like what I have, the drawers still need to be able to pull out. So it is what it is, and unfortunately his CPAP machine needs to be on the ground. It can't be like on a shelf or anything, because he runs a risk of tossing and turning and then pulling on the tube and pulling it to the ground. So yeah, it's not absolutely perfect, but it is way better than the way it was before. Eventually we will get a proper bed frame, and so we can have storage underneath the bed, and that will help. But yeah, now the goal, empty all this out to the soothing sounds of internet radio.
Don't empty me out.
Hey, you're the one that had the jalapeno mac and cheese, so that's on you.
That was actually really good. Cheetos
Jalapeno mac and cheese. So.
Should take a picture. I should have taken a picture of the boxes before we threw them out.
They've got Chester cheese on them. Like, it's easy enough to identify. So, but yeah, all this, the desk, all this, that's gonna stay But all of this needs to come out, so that can go in. What a mess.
So there's not, I mean, we have 4 bolts holding this side on.
Yeah.
It's not a good idea that we lift this thing from the top.
Yeah.
Those will just torque right out.
Yeah.
It'll just tear the wood. We just have to remember, if we're going to move this thing, we need to disassemble it.
Okay.
We have to take these drawers off to do that.
Got the new offices put together pretty well, but not quite there yet. I've never heard of that. On the hunt for drawer organizers, because I have nice big drawers now. But they're nice big drawers where stuff just rolls around. Measurements and tape measure here. I need to do some measuring. So here's the current end result of the weekend of IKEA building. So my new desk. And I've got way more room than I had before. It's amazing. So this is actually this bit, the desk bit, and the legs are actually one piece, and then the drawers are their own. So this is an Alex drawer set, and I can't remember the name of the desk bit. I will put all of it in everything we bought, all of the pieces in the description box. So, but yeah. So then if you remember, the orange wire shelving unit I had over here is now in the bedroom where Chauncey has his stuff and like his CPAP supplies and the like. And then this is also IKEA. We have one of these actually right by our front door where Chauncey stores his shoes. Because he's a man and he owns like 3 pairs of shoes. So this is an IKEA piece too. I will find it on the website and link it. And this was over there. So then I moved it over here, obviously. A good chunk of the stuff that was on the orange rack has now been sorted. So a lot of it is in here. So like top drawer, because I had some office supplies and stuff in there, and then I had other office supplies in this thing, which was bulging. So now way more reasonable. So I have like post-it notes, rubber bands, clean cloth, staple, extra staplers, washi tape, calculator, hand sanitizer, always good to have, pencil sharpener. Ooh, excuse me. And then this is highlighters and Sharpie type markers for the most part, although I do have some like Crayola type markers in here. And I know this is a ridiculous amount of Sharpies and highlighters. In my defense, it also like paper clips. I don't have like a shopaholic issue with office supplies. I inherited a crap ton of office supplies from Chauncey's grandmother. When they moved her out of the house and put her in assisted living, and then my in-laws were moving into her house, the house they're in now. Obviously, they needed to make room for their own stuff that they were moving in, so they cleared out as much of the unnecessary stuff that Grandma did not need moving to the new place. And turns out she's a bit of a hoarder when it comes to office supplies, among other things. She also had like a duplicate coffee maker that had never been opened, and like doubles of everything. So it's just a thing of that generation. I think it's a combination of that generation, the Great Depression war generation that knew how valuable having stuff was, and also a combination of that and her getting older and going to like Walmart and thinking she needs something, not realizing that she already had it, not bothering to like make a list or whatever. She'd be like, oh, I need some highlighters, so she'd buy a pack of highlighters, not realizing that she already had like 3 packets of highlighters already in her home. So yeah. So yeah, this is a good chunk of this is what I inherited from Bama. Same thing with the paper clips, the excessive amount of staples for the stapler. I had way more Post-it notes, but I've actually used a whole lot of those, actually. So this is what's left of the Post-it notes, and a random letter E. So, yeah. And paper! So this is one of the things that was on that orange rack. Lined paper, like notebook paper. Got quite a bit of it because I do handwrite a lot of notes for podcasting. This again inherited from Brahma. Graph paper for when we were playing D&D, and just blank paper for miscellaneous stuffs. This is just random stuff I haven't figured out what to do with yet. So I've got like a couple of thumb drives, a bunch of business cards I picked up from various places. I've got my meds in here, so I can just come in here and take my prescriptions first thing in the morning. And then my snack drawer, because I'm me. I have to have a snack drawer. So I've got some Jelly Babies. I got this stuff that I bought at Jungle Gyms. There's my jerky from Jungle Gyms I haven't eaten yet. Jammy Dodgers, of course. I've got another bag in here. Yeah. There's those cheese balls. I started to eat those. Haven't finished those yet. So, yeah. So then I picked up these from Target the other day just to have, because I wasn't sure what would work best as far as storage stuff in these drawers, because these two are the shallowest, and then these are the deeper, but not by a whole lot height wise, this way. They're all the same this way, that way, obviously. So when I was out looking for things that might work for the drawer organization, I picked up these were in a set at Home Goods, and then these are from Target. This I got at Home Goods really early this year, I think earlier this year, which has been handy. It's really nice to have my monitor up and have some of my figures now, which used to be living on the windowsill because I had no room on the desk. So a lot of other things that were on that wire rack, like my vase with my flowers and stuff, my 6 Doctor mug that my little gnome sits in there. So I actually have like all these notebooks which were shoved in that wire rack, now can be here where I can actually get to them. because I do a lot of handwriting of things because I find that it helps me remember crap. So again, with the Post-it notes, that's what this is intended for, but this was made by Bappa, who was Bama's husband. So he was a woodworker, so he had that he stamped on everything, and then he would always put a penny of the year that he made it. So he made this in 1996, and then the pen is supposed to sit in there, although I've yet to find a pen that actually sits there that's not super awkward, but it's nice to put the Post-its there. And then this rack I got at Home Goods. The boxes are from IKEA, but those are several years old. This basket cube thing, which again contains some of the stuff that was on that orange wire rack. Sewing stuff for the most part. I got at home. So yeah, that's the best I could come up with for right now. And then these file totes I got at Target. And these are actual, for hanging files, because I had these essentially cardboard, really heavy duty, but cardboard boxes from IKEA that I got years ago that kind of work for hanging files, but not really. So finally got some proper hanging boxes for hanging files, so I can get rid of these. Of course, we'll recycle them along with the other paper products. These were from IKEA. Again, worked in the interim while we had a lot of makeshift type stuff, just trying to figure out how to make all this work. That bookcase is also from IKEA, but I bought that earlier in the year, so that's been here for a while. But again, I will link it in the description box. So yeah, mostly IKEA, IKEA. And then it's just the more organizing stuff that's from more miscellaneous. So like At Home, those boxes, like I said, IKEA, Target, those wire baskets there, all of this stuff here. So that wire thing, that little basket fabric thing, which actually wasn't a set because the other two are right there, and this thing are all from At Home, along with those wire baskets. Those were all on clearance at Home. So yeah, I was for the most part, and then the plastic thing I've had for forever, so I don't remember where it's from. But yeah, it's just been trying to figure out the new organization for stuff so that when I go looking for something, I still know where it is, because I'm very much keep something consistently in the same place and I'll always be able to find it. Chauncey's brain doesn't work that way, unfortunately, as much as I've tried to make it work for him. But for me, I'm definitely one of those, everything has its place, a place for everything. Keep it consistent, and then I'll never struggle to find stuff. But it's just trying to make this space work as obviously a working space for my day job, but also for the podcasts that I do. So I still need, I've got my work laptop, but then I've got my personal laptop. I've got a DVD player so I can watch movies for, gold standard or whatever. Like I've got some right here that need to be watched. And then I've also still got all of my sewing stuff, because I would eventually like to get back into doing some more sewing projects. So I've got lots of ideas, and unfortunately not the ideal setup to actually do it. So here's hoping come winter time I'll be able to knock some stuff out. Knock on wood that everybody stays well enough to be able to do things. So, and then that this is from Costco So that's a Costco. This is nice because it folds up. But this is all the photos and stuff that my brother found in the attic at the house that he lives at with my dad. That I've been scanning these when we go up to visit my in-laws, because they have both a rapid scanner, which you can just take a whole stack of stuff that's about the same size and it'll just go and scan it all really quickly. But then they also have a big flatbed scanner for the larger stuff. So the last few trips I've been taking stuff up there to scan. But then I'm meeting with some of the family that is in some of these photos, and hopefully get them to their rightful owners, I guess, because there's a lot of family in there that's my side of the family through my dad's side, but it's not me or direct, my dad. It's his brothers and their kids. So I'm pretty sure they would like their own family photos back. So anyway, it's been a thing, but it was nice. I'm glad that we were able to do this. I'm glad Chauncey and I were able to go to IKEA and get the stuff that we needed to make this transition, both here and in the bedroom. Been really cool. We've been watching stuff on the TV in there, because he put the Xbox in there, and then we were using the record player, which is in there, which is really cool. So yeah, it like I was saying, in the other room in our earlier clip, it's not perfect, but it's way better and way more functional than what we had before. So, and this is stuff that we should be able to keep for quite a while and transition with us whenever we move to our next home, whenever that is. So, any questions? Let me know. Otherwise, I should probably get to watching some of these movies. Until next time.
They don't see things the same. 2 1 2 out the door. Then you have magic. One comes around, one today. They don't see things the same. 2 1 2 out the door. Then you have magic. One comes around, one today. They don't see things the same. 2 1 2 out the door. Then you have magic. One comes around, one today. They don't see things the same. 2 walk like 2 out the door. Then you have magic.